There are over 15,000 suburbs in Australia, and most investors are trying to pick one with a few Google searches. It is no wonder people feel overwhelmed, second guess themselves and delay decisions. So here's exactly how we cut through the noise and narrow down the entire country to just 3 high-quality, growth-focused locations. Hello everyone, I'm Kate Hill, and if you are ready to build real wealth through smart, no-nonsense property decisions, you're absolutely in the right place. So let's get on into it. Today we are diving into how to narrow down your location selection. Choosing the right location for your property investment isn't about luck, it's about process. While most investors bounce between suburb profiles, online data, conflicting opinions, we take a structured, research-driven approach that filters the market down with precision. This is the exact framework that we use to take a massive, overwhelming market and turn it into a clear and confident decision. You start with strategy and not suburbs. Most investors make the mistake of starting with a suburb. We don't. We start with you, your budget, your borrowing capacity, your risk tolerance, your long-term goals. Are you chasing capital growth, cash flow? Where are you at? A balanced portfolio? Because the answer to that question immediately changes the type of locations we're even willing to consider. This step alone eliminates thousands of suburbs that simply do not align with your strategy. Filter those property markets by fundamentals. We analyze the macro drivers, the things that actually move property markets over time. We're looking at population growth and migration patterns, employment hubs and economic drivers, infrastructure investment, current and planned, supply constraints and development pipelines. This is where most DIY research falls short. These factors are not always obvious on property websites, but they are critical. At this stage, we're not looking for cheap or popular. We're looking for pressure, the kind that pushes prices upward over time. Drill down to suburb level data. Once we've identified strong regions, we zoom in. And this is where we analyze suburb level metrics, price segmentation, so what actually sells in your budget, days on market, rental demand and vacancy rates, buyer demographics, owner-occupiers versus investors. We're not just asking, is this a good suburb? We're asking, is this the right suburb for this client right now? Match property type to local demand. So important. This is a huge one, and it's where a lot of investors get it wrong. It's not just about where you buy, it's about what you buy in that location. Different suburbs have different demand drivers. Some favour family homes, others favour townhouses and smaller dwellings. We match the property type to what the locals actually want and not just what the investor prefers. Because demand drives growth, not your personal preference. Your personal preference is important, of course, from a cash flow outcome, but we are targeting the best growth. Narrow it down to 3 high-quality options. After all that filtering, analysis, and alignment, we're not going to give you 10 different options. We give you 3, maybe 4. 3 locations that are aligned with your strategy, supported by strong fundamentals, suitable for your budget, positioned for long-term growth. Clear, focused, actionable, no overwhelm, no second guessing. The approach works because it removes noise, it removes emotion, it replaces guesswork with structure. And instead of trying to analyze everything yourself, you're guided through a process that filters out what doesn't matter and it highlights what does. That's how confident decisions are made. So all of this is exactly what we do through our Property Pathway Location Guidance Service. We take the entire Australian property market, we narrow it down to a handful of locations that actually make sense for you. They're not based on hype, they're not based on headlines, they are based on data, your strategy, and our experience. And that is how we help investors move forward with clarity. You don't need more suburbs to choose from, you need better ones. And when you follow a structured process, the market stops feeling overwhelming and it starts feeling full of opportunity, and that is where investing becomes a lot more powerful. Thank you so much for watching. If you're serious about building real wealth through smart, well-researched property decisions, stick around. There's a lot here to support your journey. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.